fantastic, and it's England who come away as winners. Eddie Jones has done it again. Too good for Wales here. Full time. South Africa 19, Wales 60. South Africa punch their ticket. They are off to the biggest game in rugby. They are World Cup finalists. Next week, it'll be the Springboks v England.
I am the product of Africa and have long cherished dream of a rebirth that can now be realized, so that all of our children may play in the sun.
Will South Africa have to be better? Absolutely. They'll have to go leaps and bounds way beyond what they showed on Sunday. The England team,
they are firm favourites. I genuinely believe they've got one hand on the trophy.
Look, it's going to be a very tough game. We're playing an England team that is really on the high.
I know Rusty Rasmus this week will prepare his team to make sure that they have what it takes.
There are only two teams left, though, in this World Cup. England,
South Africa.
And South Africa.
Yeah,
sorry,
we're on the ball on this podcast.
There's only two teams that I knew was someone. Alex, what are you expecting?
I do think this World Cup needs England to win.
Everyone apart from me was saying England, and I kind of then just couldn't bring myself to say out loud, actually I think the Springboks have got it, because the English press was so set on, actually this is decided, this is done.
That first training session was terrible. And we went to had a little huddle, and then we went to the hotel, and we just started talking about, we can't train ourselves better in 2 games. We can work 2 or 3 moves out, but hell, we can start focusing, fully playing for whatever you think back in South Africa.
Coach just, he didn't like those give people hope, all those kind of chats. He just wanted you to play. But by the final, he saw like what was going on in our country. And he started seeing, and that's when he started telling us about pressure. Pressure is not what we're going through right now. Pressure is what's happening in our country. People losing their children, kids not been having food to eat, people losing jobs. And we in a place of privilege, because what we can do on Saturday is to give a smile in people who are going through the worst things in their lives.
If you drop your head, if you make a mistake, you're dropping South Africa. You're not dropping yourself.
Yes, and the boys switched on, and they took that, and I didn't have to say a word after that. It just went on like fire.
For me, is undoubtedly out of form. I would change our fullback, if anything. I know the memes out there, the joke there, the foot is swollen.
It can get tough and it can get lonely sometimes, and people they'll attack your family, and they'll say bad stuff to them about why is he doing this, why is he playing so bad, what's going on with him.
Man, van kleins af was hy baie lief vir rugby. Ek het vir hom, toe hy gebore was, het ek hom 'n rugbybal gegee. En ek het nou al redelik vir hom gesien struggle met al die media en alles wat hulle gesê het oor hom.
We actually came into the bus. He sits next to me. He says, "Coach, I would Afrikaans. I will understand 100% if you don't pick me."
If you want to pick someone else, honestly, I'm here for the team. I'll be there helping them, analyzing, do everything I can. So you pick who you think is going to be the best for this final game. But he just laughed at me, and he was like, "You'll play, don't worry. Don't worry what the people say." He continued to back me.
Then me and Russell went and took, I think it was a 6-8 minute clip, and we just circled him, and it was just this shadow following Willie Leroux, where he just made 7 or 8 tries.
So it's like building me up by showing my clips, but to the whole team. He didn't do it by anyone else. You just showed clips of me.
Everyone is talking about Makazole now and his tries that he's scoring. Everyone is talking about Cheslin Kobe. And we tend to forget sometimes who is making that final pass.
We've got all the energy, but he directed our energy into the right places and the right times.
Rassie said, you don't leave everything out there. Then you've wasted your whole life leading up to this. People telling me I was too small, I'll never play for the Springboks. People telling me, your brand of rugby will never fit the Springboks. And I always found a reason to prove people wrong, because they give me energy. And afterwards you feel everything I've done leading up to this was worth it.
When England won, there was over 1,100 metres of attacking.
Ball in hand. Which, when you compare it to the shit that was on Sunday, there was like...
The Springboks, the way the Springboks are playing isn't popular back home. I mean, the Springboks are being pilloried at the moment.
If the guys can stick to the structures, if the guys can really perform, they can show agency, I think we'll be able to put the points on the board.
So, media today, the themes will be recurring themes, which is around dull rugby, boring, brutish.
We do have our plans on what we're going to do, but I'm obviously not going to share that here right now.
I think kicking game is going to be massive. No pressure, Polly.
I'm not 100% sure if a World Cup final is going to be won by a very expansive game plan with wonderful tries.
We've got a few big blokes on our team, so they've already come out and said that they're going to fight fire with fire, and I guess we return serve by saying, I guess bring it on.
There's one thing you don't challenge South Africans with. Don't challenge our players about physicality.
If you put a little bit of focus in this now, I promise you, you are going to fuck them up front defensively. The first one is, Mapimpi, what the fuck does these guys do on the first line? Weird stuff, eh? Our backs are going to pick that up. They're going to cue you, watch the engine. Let's say we're not in Bulldogs. That will be PT and that will be Sia.
He needs a shitload of tackles. Don't tell me Owen Farrell missing the most tackles in the World Cup is a good thing.
Young's tires, and how fucking Sinclair tires, and how Farrell starts shitting on his teammates, and how they just lose it little by little, if we keep on going. The thing they can't take away from us with all their tricks is they can't take away our physicality, and they will go away and sell it. Believe me, do you?
Yes, sure.
Sure.
I think that England, great players, great systems, good coaching, they're all on the same wavelength.
I wonder what the prospects are to overcome a formidable English side that have really risen to form.
We had 2 training sessions. I think in total 90 minutes. We trained at a field where we could do nothing on our training field which wasn't exposed to the whole world. I mean, there was, so we couldn't really change anything.
Rather than do different things, we did things differently. We have to do something unexpected. And then Rossi came out with The Move.
It's actually funny, the move's name is The Move. If we needed 3 points, we have to have a plan, something special where we get 3 points from. And we didn't even do it at practice because we were afraid people could see it. That field was very open. So we actually only walked it through indoors.
The move.
And I genuinely do believe we'll be sitting here next week with England as World Cup champions.
We need to win the World Cup. In fact, I think, for me, we need to win it as more than ever before.
We want it more than them. We want it more than them. And just have all the best.
Ready? Stras je besluit er agter. Ek trust jou met my fucking lewe. Ja, kom ja.
It's a massive tough place. No excuses taken, no excuses given. If I can go put them on the back foot again.
Ja, it's a special thing. It's very symbolic to have the number 6 at the World Cup. It's in South African history. It's something that could come a long way. We're very proud of you. I'm not sure if destiny is on our side tomorrow, but I know hard work, luck has been on our side. We're not sure about destiny, but we'll fucking give destiny a hell of a go tomorrow to see if we can control destiny. So I'm looking at it.
And you know, because you've seen it tangibly 12 years before and 12 years before that, what winning that one game could do for people back home.
It is the final. England up against South Africa for the coveted Webb Ellis Cup. And what a party it has been in the land of the rising sun. Today we will be going to Yokohama for this final match.
Many people did not believe that you would get to where you are, to the final. And many people did not believe that you would come to this hour of destiny. Because now that's where you are. You are at that moment of destiny for two things. For yourselves as individual players and for the country. Go out there on that pitch and play your hearts out. And play the best game that you have ever played.
Being in the World Cup final is a fucking big thing. So why would I say that? I've had a lot of team talks where coaches stand in front and it means absolutely fuck all. So I don't want to be one of those coaches. So why I say this is, I'm just saying don't crash. Why do I say don't crash? Because boys, it goes very quickly sometimes. And then sometimes you sit in that bus afterwards and you drive back to the hotel and you think, fuck me, why didn't I do that? Shit, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I say that? Why didn't I try that? Fucking Afrikaans saying spoke to multiple a lot. It's the one place you might have been in the Currie Cup final, that's good. You might have been in the Super Rugby final, that's great. World Cup final, there isn't another final in rugby. There is not a bigger final in World Rugby. It's the World Cup final. So there's still one place where you can't have a fucking regret. And I want to say something weird to you. You don't have the right today to worry about your mistakes. If you worry about your mistakes today, you are windgat. You've got an ego problem. You are not representing yourself today. Boys, jy verteenwoordig nie yourself vandag. You really are fighting for the next light in Sweden to not suffer like you suffered. Look, you really are trying and tackle for the boy who didn't get the opportunities that you got eventually, like Mapimpi. The same with you. There's so many different things we can go through. All of us have different lifestyles and backgrounds and things. So that's why this last week I've been pressing so hard for you guys to understand that I was always the guy that never said we are doing things to give people hope. Because we first have to play well. But now you are playing well. And now you give hope. And now people are agreeing. So what I'm trying to say is, if you play shit today, you don't have the right to drop your head. It's not about you. You must stand up. If you lose a line-up, jump up and go make the next tackle. If you miss a tackle, you must jump up and go do the next clean-up. If you miss a high ball, you must just think about the next one and go up for the next one. Ek nie die reg vandag. Please, agree with me. I just shake your head or say yes to that. Do you guys agree that you are not representing individuals today? Figure out the song. Ek nie die reg om vandag te worry oor hoe jy speel.
You don't have the right to worry about yourself.
Lona ngumdlalo wamashumi amahlanu kaSiyamthanda Kolisi. Usiya wayeka kudala uba ngumfana nje wakwaKolisi okanye waseZwide. Usiya ummele uMzantsi Afrika wonke. Namhlanje uzosikhokhela kowona mdlalo omkhulu kwimbali yombhoxo waseMzantsi Afrika. Phakamani eMpulukwane, phakamani eTshwane, phakamani eMamelodi, phakamani eRhawutini naseSoweto, phakamani eMangaung, phakamani eKimberley, phakamani eThekwini eMlazi, phakamani eMthatha, phakamani eGluwa, phakamani eMpoti, eMdantsane, eBhayi, eZwide, phakamani eKapa, kwaLanga naseGugulethu. Ngoba uGqiya, uGwashu, unyana womgquba uya kwelona dabi elikhulu kwimbali yombhoxo walapha eMzantsi Afrika. Kude, manikiniki.
I think when they ran on, I didn't even see England. Not because they disrespected them, not at all, but because they saw South Africa. They saw South Africa.
It's North versus South. How good is this going to be?
This is what we waited for. The way England tore the All Blacks apart. Many people are making England favourites.
And we are rolling on the World Cup final from Yokohama International Stadium. South Africa v England is in play.
Strains of swing low ring around the Yokohama Stadium. Young's Curry taking on the tackle of his Sale Sharks teammate Foster Clerk and setting the platform for Ben Young's Mapimpi. Stepping away from a couple.
Sinclair's down. Well, he hasn't moved. It's worrying times for Carl Sinclair. Stretcher called for immediately.
Yeah, and that man Dan Cole's going to come on, probably not as mobile as Sinclair, but a stronger scrummer.
Alec, we want BC to work at Dan Cole's now, eh? The Dan Cole's can't last 18 minutes. You must work him,
And straight into it against Tendai Tawarira for Dan Cole. Well, South African scrum getting some go forwards and eventually bringing the penalty advantage to Clerk over the top for Mapimpi. Quick ball for de Klerk, out the back from Tutoy, Pollard, LaRue. Ghosting through the gap himself. From Tawarira. This time it's him out the back for Pollard and then Umbanambi. Duyaka, Pollard, Kolisi and Mapimpi. Advantage over, says Jerome Garces. Pollard. Giving chase to his own kick against George Ford, and Pollard plucks it out of the air. Tutoy and Mapimpi over the ball. Now I'm Tawarira.
Wow. If that's just the entree for what's to come over the next 75, we are in for an absolute ripper.
Oh, what a passage of play.
They've given it wide, they've been very dangerous. Willie LaRue has been heavily involved, but they've come with a new attitude.
Yeah, anybody who thought this was going to be a walkover for England, think again.
Big scrum from South Africa again, but Vunipola off the back of it. A little bit of confusion for George Ford, but Ren Farrell, the captain, and South Africa have a penalty.
On his feet.
They deserve this after the opening 7 minutes of play.
Pollard with a chip shot, nails the first 3 on the board in the World Cup final.
That's silent bullies. Tell the boys that's what we want. 80 minutes of that shit.
Now they peel away, George, delaying the switch for May. May bounces his way over the 22. Youngs delays the pass there for George. That was Mako. Laws.
Bongi, Malcolm, get Malcolm ready. Aichayam, Bongi. Bongi.
We need width now, we're a man down, we need width.
He's not 100. On we go, though, with Daly. Daly looking to release Watson.
Let the game stop, let him stand up. Let the game stop, Jock.
That keeps it alive for Mako Vunipola. Side to side in our numbers. Across to the left. Key tackle from Colby. Shuts that threat down, and now another penalty for England.
And he'll be off for an HIE. Again, pleading with the medic not to come off.
I'm telling him, no, Doc, I'm fine. Doc, just fucking leave me. I'm fine. Let me play. I'm fine, Doc. I can go and go. And I can see that, like, I'm starting to convince him. He's almost like backing off.
Doc, do a HIA on. I'm telling you, HIA. I'm the coach. I saw a HIA. Do a HIA.
Well, they've got a pretty handy replacement, don't they? South Africa and Malcolm Marx in jersey number 16.
It's a one-man wrecking machine, he really is.
Locking us up. 3-3, 22 gone.
Yeah, Diaga does not look good for South Africa, so Franco Mostert looks like he's going to come on, but he's really favouring that left-hand shoulder, isn't he?
You're asking these guys to do things, to sacrifice so much. You've got to understand the human being, and you've got to respect the human being to do that. Felt for Bongi, who put so much into his campaign. Luert, same thing. I felt, I felt sorry for the guy. I thought it's not the way it should be for him. I love those guys.
3-3, 22 gone.
And those English fans, the English players, the English management, they'll be delighted with only being 3-all on the scoreboard after being dominated for the opening 20 minutes.
So some changes at hooker for South Africa. Marx is good in the middle there, and now they creep forward. And now the penalty advantage, and Bavula picks and goes. Diesel Dwayne, penalty, South Africa.
Yeah, I never thought I'd say it, but boy, it's a beautiful sight to see a scrum go like that, eh?
Pollard can make it 2 from 3 tonight. Pollard takes the scoreline for a walk again, 6-3.
And they've really shown up South Africa in the opening 15.
In comes Billy Vunipola. Mostert. He won't give an inch.
Somehow they got into our 22 and they just started putting phase after phase after phase.
Checks his run. Curry bounces past one, marks across there again.
One of the characteristics that all good teams have is they've got a refusal to be defeated, a superior discontent. If you want to put a video under the caption of superior discontent, it's probably that passage.
Tuolangi takes his side forward. Youngs to Laws. Their best field position all night here, England. Curry. Mostert again with the tackle. Youngs back for Laws. 201-centimetre giants bounce into each other on that occasion, and now...
It was my last dance, and I just wanted to, even if I was going to lose a shoulder or whatever it might be, break a leg, I was going to do it because that's how much it meant for me, to just stay out, to help South Africa achieve greatness.
Billy Vunipola, great carry. Youngs holding up for Underhill, inches away. Penalty advantage coming here for England. Cole at the back. Cole goes backwards, now pops for Youngs. The phases keep coming. Curry for Mako Vunipola. They keep whacking away. Billy Vunipola drilled.
So you draw that line in the sand. And on this side, you defend your family, your country, your people, and you don't let anyone get into that space.
They keep jackhammering away. Billy Vunipola. Somehow the green wall stays intact. Cole at the back. Cole! Billy Vunipola. They go to him. They go to him. Desperate from South Africa. Now they put it through the hands. Daly over the top for Watson. Watson. LaRue holds on. South Africa hold on. Still with England though. Now Farrell. He's put down.
At a certain stage, you see some guys actually smiling, and you can feel the change, and you can feel the shift.
Over the top. May trying to blast his way through. Tuolungi back to where it all began. It's exhaustive. Now they come wide again, England. Daly pops it up for Curry, and after all that, we'll head all the way back for the initial penalty.
You can see they're not tackling the English there. You know, they're tackling for South Africa there, and I'm not trying to make a cliche of something, but they're defending that line as if it is South Africa.
We just looked at each other and we were like, okay, things are happening for us.
But now back with South Africa. Yeah, it's a Springboks penalty.
It's coming back, it's coming back. It's over from Andre Pollard. And South Africa back in the lead with 90 seconds to play. A little fumble from de Klerk, but it might work out for him. He's gone wide for Derlindi. And cutting back inside. Beautiful break from Lukhanyo. Then the chip, Daly. Little knock on there. And there'll be time for one more scrum in England's half.
Here they go with a scrum, and they're edging, and winning the penalty.
They just cannot cope this England pack with the power, the beast on this near side against Dan Cole.
With the gong having sounded, Pollard with a kick to take a 6-point lead into half-time. Absolutely nails it again.
South Africa by far the better team in that opening half under a 12-6 deserving lead.
Exhaustive. Brutal, physical rugby.
Technical now. The whole thing now is not going to be too technical. The next thing now is going to be fucking physical and mental. No technical shit from now on. Physical and mental.
Tackles are phenomenal. It's nice and dominant. Why? Because your work rate to get work is excellent. Let's keep on doing that, DC. Okay? We can work a little bit harder, I think, the tacklers, post-tackle. So if you tackle, winning the World Cup will be that extra getting up and blasting back in the contest. Happy with that? Excellent.
Whatever you do, it's fucking unbelievable. Give us another 40 minutes of this, of what you're doing. I know that fucking up a little bit and more. We expected that. We're going to work out a plan for that. So, of course, the physicality at scrum time, at the breakdown, at how you carry, the forwards are currently winning this game for us. So please, whatever match minutes you have for us now, just give it to us another 40 minutes and we'll work on. Okay, boys, sit up 1 minute 5. Body language. Get up from the scrum, get in their faces. Show fuck for 40 minutes. You show body language, you fucking work it.
See Khaleesi in his 50th Test match. He's up through 40 minutes of play at South Africa, who are, some would suggest, shock leaders through the first half, with so many touting England as favourites for this contest.
Oh, there's just a little look of concern in those England players' eyes, isn't there?
We are moving again in the Rugby World Cup final.
We knew at some stage they're going to break down, at some stage they're going to tire out.
Possession in the first half, they're on the in-ball for Curry.
Ons plan is om vir George Ford onder druk te sit, hulle 10. En hom 'n bietjie laat
bietjie laat bewe.
They lose their feet and it stays with Toje. Ford.
I've never heard any tackles as loud as what I heard them in the final.
Doesn't get a shot on, can't do so. It is so rapid, the line speed of South Africa in defence, and it is unsettling England. Now they go shorter and more direct.
Once they slip up, we use their mistake to try and capitalise against them.
Ford, again, trying to work the angles here, and again, they rush out the outside in South Africa, and it's going to bring a result on this occasion inside the England half.
Big piece left to tie, he's putting the ball carrier under. They just can't cope, KT, with this South African line speed.
Swap Kitsi and Vincent. Swap Kitsi and Vincent. Put them on.
And boy, they'll be chomping at the bits to get stuck into that England front row.
I could never see guys fearing the bench coming on. I could always just feel it in the scrum. And I just told Vince, like, listen, if you handle Marlow, I'll just get penalties on this side.
Well, the new props are straight into the action and have won yet another penalty. It is glorious to watch.
Well, the scrum is becoming a spectacle. Yes, it is, Joe. Admit it, you enjoy it.
It's a South African spectacle, yes.
Pollard's hardest shot at the poles tonight, the longest. He has bombed it through. Marks to Etzebeth, who was banged up in the first half but has stayed on the park, and now England get one back.
Yeah, one back. Maru Atoji just disrupted the driving maul.
Is to stay in the fight. 9 points, the biggest deficit they've had tonight, to be down. And up steps the skipper.
Peter Steph-Toy in the contest, and Etzebeth slipping his pass away to Dualendi. Wonderful strength to stay in field. Lost it. Now Leroux. In behind the defensive line. Daly dropping back all on his own. Mapimpi chases, and Daly hooking his kick into touch. It's a wonderful territory win for South Africa.
It's a great kick from Peter Leroux.
The move, the move, the move, the move.
And South Africa have gone quickly. No jumpers in the lineup, they went short.
The move is the back line carry it up, and then we set up a maul just off the 15 or so.
Oh, comes a maul. It's the maul.
Yeah, they're setting up a maul from a midfield ruck. And the legs are taken away. Another penalty advantage.
That's so clever from South Africa.
It was spectacular, and perhaps the moment for me that summed up what the Rassie Erasmus Springbok team is, in that it is brutal and, yes, it's forward-based, but it's so creative and genuinely quite ingenious.
Pollard restores some breathing space for the Springboks. Back ahead by 9 as we tick away towards the final quarter.
Smart forward play from the South Africans.
Vermeulen creased from the restart, but it took 3 to do it. And now the penalty with England. These two take 3 off the deficit, and he just squeezes it. Margin, he's back to 6.
When it comes to the final, there's something that people don't really talk about. You look at the scoreboard pressure. All of a sudden, the score is 18-12. You are 6 points behind. You know, what do you do as a side that's on with 12 points? You want to chase the game. You want to chase the game. So they end up now making mistakes where they're playing in the wrong areas.
Leroux in behind, looking for Peter Steph-Toy and Mapimpi. Daly's back for England. He has 2 green and gold jerseys on him, driving him towards touch. Territorial gain there for the Boks, but now the ball back with the English.
So you really got the sense that England were tiring, and the converse was true.
of the Springboks. You could sense they had energy, they had urgency.
Yet another carry from Billy Vunipola, but not making any kind of gain. LaRue, brilliant tackle.
Really secures it, and as I was about to go for that breakdown, I saw a kid secured and we've got space on the outside. I saw a mismatch. Mismatches, tight forwards versus backs. I call for the ball.
But retained after the tackle from Wilson. Beautiful hands from Marks. Mapipi! The chip ahead for Lucanio.
That's the first try that we've ever scored in a World Cup final. And scored by possibly the player that has come from the most hopeless situation in the history of Springbok rugby.
Well, who was Makazola playing for that day?
No, he was playing, I think, obviously, he was playing for South Africa. And I think if you talk to him, I don't know, do you know the story about the jerseys? Of the, on the back of your numbers, you had to have family members. You can give him photos of family members. He only had photos of himself. Because he didn't have anybody else. And I say, why are you doing this? And he says he's got nobody. His brother died. His mom died there, his father, he doesn't have a photo. So he doesn't play for one thing. He's just got massive heart. Massive heart.
Points the lead as Itoje tries to create something. Last week's man of the match in the semi-final.
Well, England have to pull the trigger now. They've got no choice. They're running out of runway.
Marla, can he create some go forward? Not really. Farrell, little pop inside for Cowan Dickey. Farrell again. And that ball's been dislodged in contact to Toy. And Colby up against the tight forward at first. Then Farrell! Cheslin! Colby! That is it! South Africa! That is it!
Farrell was looking for coins on the ground, and Cheslin gone.
Surely now! Surely now!
Dit is maar baie tap geweest by ons. As jy die koerant opmaak, hoor jy Cheslin is 'n dwergie, Cheslin is klein en almal die goed, maar Cheslin se woorde was altyd aan my. Dada, spring op gaan na boord. So, sorry.
Cheslin Colby, remember, has run it on one ankle, couldn't go last week in the semi-final, can go in the final. Cheslin Colby is top shelf.
Okay, South Africa are going to win this World Cup. South Africa is going to celebrate. The nation's going to come together. I'm getting emotional now myself just thinking about it.
Making me emotional.
They can't, they won't.
And England battered, bruised, and soundly beaten in Yokohama. There it is! has sounded. Pollard kicks it into the stands. And there is indeed a cup of gold at the end of the South African rainbow.
Everything can't just hit South Africa all the time, in the face, and nothing goes our way. So it felt like, yes, it made me believe, okay, man, things will also turn.
A country that so desperately needs to smile collectively and cohesively has been given an emphatic reason to do so tonight. A team that inspired surely not one, but many future generations. A team with many different mother tongues and backgrounds, but a team that celebrates its difference, its diversity, and which has used it as a powerful force for success. A team that is living, breathing proof that in an environment in which many seek to divide us, we are indeed stronger together.
My dad passed away at a pretty young age, when I was 8 years old. Matt came up to me and he said, listen, but your father would be proud. It was like, you know, everything went off my shoulders.
You know, we come from different backgrounds, different races, and we came together with one goal, and we wanted to achieve it. I really hope that we've done that for South Africa, to show that we can achieve anything if we work together as one.
That gold medal around my neck, this is a symbol of, you know, just my hard work, my sweat, my blood, you know, tears, everything, you know, engraved in gold. So.
Kolisi and Erasmus. Two men brought up in the same province, but in starkly different circumstances. Yet their paths have merged, and together they've ascended rugby's highest and most challenging peak. What a journey this has been. Here it is, South Africa. Here it is. The Springboks, champions of the world.
Sport has the power to unite people. It just brings us again together as a nation. You know, we have a lot of challenges in our country, but you know, we can't expect government to do this now. We all got a role to play. Our role in sport is to go out and win and do the best for our country and make people proud.
I think that will be the legacy, is just that you don't write off a South African. You don't write a South African off.
Now in South Africa, you have a lot of other sports playing, but when rugby plays, you see the nation comes out in their droves.
The Springboks are landing, touching down at OR Tambo International Airport on African soil.
I'll never forget just walking in to that, corridor and hearing the anthem and seeing all the people and the flags and the excitement.
Best thing I've ever seen. I could feel that we just won the World Cup. You could feel the airport vibrating.
That totally blew my mind. That totally was everybody says it's a humbling feeling, but that totally makes you feel it makes you feel small.
The game is beautiful. The game belongs to the people. We are all here to serve this game.
I saw it firsthand how important the game is. But it's not the game, it's hope. Jeez, you got me good there.
Kids in the township, in the poorest areas, running around with Ewan's face, and that's when you know there is hope in our country.
It was unbelievable to think that when we had the pint there in Limerick and Rassie said, listen, I think we can win the World Cup, and the journey started, it couldn't have scripted better for us. Every guy will sit here and tell you a fairy tale of how it worked out for him. People said, listen, it's probably not doable. It's never been done before. And then winning a World Cup, it's just a fairy tale of note.
I think there's a difference between hope and happiness. And I hope that we kick on. Then it would be significant, because then happiness will go into hope. For me, that's a fairy tale, you know.